Sometimes we hang around the wrong people because we sympathize with them and understand their life experiences. We ignore red flags because we give these people grace for their ways and make excuses for their poor behavior. As I stated in the beginning of this course, not everyone desires to be a better human being. They lack self accountability and have an unwillingness to break patterns and change their behavior. We can want the best for others, but when they do not want it for themselves, we have to accept that and let them be. We cannot stay around these types of people because we will begin to take on their burdens. We will begin to feel a sense of responsibility for others. You have to separate from these people and set up boundaries. Most people stay in bad connections because they don't want problems, so they ignore the issues at hand. But staying in unhealthy connections with no boundaries will cause more problems in your life. Boundaries refer to the physical, emotional, and mental limits that we create to protect ourselves and maintain a sense of personal individuality and overall well-being. These boundaries can exist in various areas of our life, including personal relationships, work, and social interactions. Boundaries define what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior from others and ourselves. Establishing and maintaining boundaries is crucial for healthy relationships, self-care, and again, overall well-being. It involves self-awareness, assertiveness, and effective communication to clearly communicate our needs, limits, and expectations to others while respecting their boundaries as well. When you set boundaries, it demonstrates self-respect. It shows that you value yourself enough to communicate your needs and limits to others. Without boundaries, you might find yourself constantly sacrificing your own well-being and happiness for the sake of others, which can lead to resentment and burnout. When you have boundaries in the relationship, they clarify what behavior is acceptable and unacceptable, fostering mutual respect and understanding between individuals involved. Clear boundaries can prevent misunderstandings, conflicts, and feelings of being taken advantage of. But boundaries are meant to protect your emotional well-being by helping you manage your own feelings and responses to others. They allow you to prioritize your own needs and feelings without feeling guilty or responsible for the emotions of others. It allows you to make decisions based on your own values, desires, and preferences rather than feeling pressured to conform to others' expectations. Just as boundaries are important for yourself, they also teach others to respect your limits and needs. By clearly communicating your boundaries, you help others understand how to interact with you in a way that is respectful and considerate. This allows you to prioritize self-care and avoid situations that may be harmful or draining. Like constantly being around unhealed people operating in a level of trauma is a dangerous place for you. You are never safe with these types of people around, no matter how close you are to them. We all heard the term hurt people hurt people. This is very true because although your intentions and heart are in a good place for the other individual, the other person has yet to learn how to operate from a healed place. So they only operate the way they know, which is through trauma. Then in the end, you are left to bear the scars from them when all you wanted was better for them. At every point of your life, you have to protect yourself and your boundaries. If you don't do this for you, you will find yourself constantly being disappointed and having to heal from things unhealed people have done to you. Establishing boundaries involves a combination of self-awareness, assertiveness, and effective communication. It's important to be aware of past situations where you found yourself uncomfortable or feel like your boundaries have been crossed. With this, you become aware of some of the things you value, need, and your limits. Try to identify specific boundaries that you want to establish. These could include physical boundaries like personal space, Emotional boundaries, like not tolerating disrespectful language. Time boundaries, by setting limits on how much time you spend on a certain thing, and so on. When establishing these boundaries, it's important to communicate them clearly and directly. Use assertive communication techniques to express your needs and limits in a confident and respectful manner. Avoid being passive by sacrificing your own needs, or being aggressive by disregarding the feelings of others. You do not have to overcomplicate things. For example, if you do not drink and your friends invite you out for drinks, simply say, I will pass because I don't drink. Nothing more, nothing less. Once you've communicated your boundaries clearly and someone continues to disregard them, you have to clearly communicate the consequences of crossing your boundaries. Let the other person know what will happen if they continue to disregard your limits. This is where you have to reinforce protecting yourself. You have to mean what you say and guard and protect the boundaries you set for yourself. Allowing others to disregard your boundaries you have set and letting them get away with it only hurts you in the end. You have to remain consistent to your boundaries, even if it feels uncomfortable or difficult. Consistency reinforces the message that your boundaries are important and worthy of respect. Setting and enforcing boundaries can be challenging, so make sure to take care of yourself and seek support from friends, family, or therapists if you need, especially if you're struggling to establish boundaries. As you continue to grow and evolve, understand that your boundaries will change as well. Review your boundaries periodically and make adjustments as necessary to ensure they continue to serve you effectively. Also, get used to saying no. If you are someone who is a constant people pleaser and put others' needs and wants above your own, understand that that does not serve you, and it's time to say no. You might feel bad at first for saying no, but as you continue practicing saying no, you will start to feel free and less burdened by other people's problems. You might even see people disassociating themselves from you because you no longer benefit them or help them like you used to. Saying no protects your peace, resources, and time. If you don't have the energy or funds for others, never feel bad. Just simply say no. Some ways you can say no is, thank you for asking, but that isn't going to work out for me. Or, thanks, I'll have to pass on that. Or, simply just say no with no explanation. However you need to say it, just let them know it's not happening. Okay? Okay. But remember that establishing boundaries is a skill that takes practice. It may feel a bit uncomfortable at first, but it's essential for maintaining healthy relationships and protecting your well-being. So, in the next activity, I want you to reflect on the times where you felt like your boundaries were being crossed, and how did you handle it? How did it make you feel? Then I want you to take some time to reflect on what are some boundaries you feel you need to establish to protect yourself, and how do you plan on reinforcing those boundaries to others? It's also important to take note on the ones who have violated your boundaries and the ones you feel you need to reiterate the boundaries to. Be aware of those people. Also, if you struggle with not trying to hurt people's feelings, so you disregard your own on behalf of others, practice saying no in the mirror. You have to, because people will continue to walk over you and use you because they know you will always say yes. So practice saying no is truly essential for your growth and development.